Okay, back on this Norton engine. I think it's going to need a total top end rebuild, but I'm just going to check the valve springs for the free length. And the outer spring, free length. I'll do it. Well, I'll do it in metric then. You can do it either way. Whoops, turn it on. Metric. Supposed to be 41.09. 41, and I'm getting 39.8, so that's way too small. And the inner spring, 37.64, and I'm getting 36.4. So this is 1 millimeter out. This one's 2 millimeters out. All the springs are shot too. And I got a feeling that bore, I haven't pulled that off yet. I think I'm going to be too busy today to do that again, unless it's late tonight. But yeah, so I need all new valves, guides, springs, the whole works. Gonna do it right. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to be boring those cylinders over. But I'll check that when I pulled it apart, because I can feel a little bit of a hump there where the ring line is, which is like down like about 3/4 of an inch down from the top of the cylinder. I can feel a little bit of a wave, maybe a 1/2 inch down, especially right at the very top there too, and the last ring. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's going to need a bore. So I'm going to go look up some parts for that thing. Loosening off all these cylinder base nuts. But you got to kind of pry them up a little bit to get them off. Crazy British design. So I got them all loose. Just yeah, I got this one loose a little bit more. I got to kind of loosen them all at once here. Some of the back ones off. Okay, that one's off. Just gotta kind of put some wedges in there to hold it up. Lock washers. Lock washer. Last two. Pretty sure I'm going to be boring this thing out, and then if I think I should split the cases too, I'm thinking. If there's that much wear everywhere. Okay. All these in his bag. There's one nut that was the wrong size, and there's one missing. Two missing. Really dirty and black. Just a filthy engine cavity, just like black tar. Guaranteed the inside of that crank is going to be the same way as that last one. It'll be like a hardened tar. And you won't be able to, it won't. It all settled. There's a sediment trap in the center of that crankshaft. It all settles in there, and guaranteed it's gonna, like the last one was bad I did. This engine's got more wear on it. So I really think I gotta take apart that crank. Do the whole thing. And there's the cam lobes. The cam lobes look pretty good there. Forgotten somebody mentioned check that. Let me roll it over and check that a little bit better. It's the points of the camshaft that are going to see the most wear, and that one doesn't look too bad. And this one doesn't look too bad. Yeah, they all look pretty good. No, it actually looks pretty good. Surprising with how much filth in this engine. So the next thing is I'm going to measure these pistons, measure the cylinders, see if they're within specs. And I just got a feeling it's going to need to be bored. But if it's right at the tolerances, I think I'm going to leave it. And just clean everything up really good. Unless the rings are bad too. Let's see if this ring's any good. Sometimes you can just get by with re-ringing it. Doesn't look too bad. Sometimes they'll get skinny where the highest load is, and wear the chrome off on the outside, but that's all good. My hands are oily, too oily. Bastard, get up here. Really dirty engine now. Holy smokes, that thing's dirty. Taking off all the rings. Gonna wash these pistons up so I can mic them. Okay, I'm gonna clean these up. Measuring the skirt at the bottom, and you go, adjacent to the pin. And I'm getting 7.8. Or 2.87 0 pretty much. That's what I was getting. So I should get my mic on here, but this is getting me roughly close. .8710. Here I'm getting 2.705. So the minimum is 2.8703. So I'm just barely over specs there. I'm right at the very minimum of the specs for wear, so now I'm going to check the bore. I'm just washing out the cylinders. Okay, according to the Norton manual, you check for the most wear, which is probably a ½ inch down from the top of the cylinder. And then let me zero that. I'll just put it at the 0. Okay, there's 0. That's where the most wear is, right there. And then if I go down to the bottom of the barrel, it should be like brand new. And there's 2 thou difference between top and bottom. Actually 3 thou. There's more wear near the top. I'm getting 3 thou difference there on that one. I don't know if you can see that, it's so much glare in there. I think you can. Near the top, a little ways down from the top. So I'm getting about almost 1 thou there, and then I go down to the bottom. And about 2 thou. So I'm getting about 3 thou. 3 thou difference from the top to the bottom. And let me check the pistons again. I'm just zeroing in the mic. I don't think I've ever used this mic. This is that set I bought a couple of years ago for like $40. But it's bang on 0 there. Not sure if this one is here, the 2-inch one or whatever that is, I don't know. 2 3-inch one. 2-inch, I think it says. 3-inch. That's the 3-inch one. Okay, so that's bang on. So let's measure these pistons. Just going to measure it down a couple, 3 millimeters or so. There. So that's 2.8. I've got 2 inches there. 0.8, and then we got a 50 mark and a 22 mark, so 72, 2.872. I'm gonna write these numbers down. Oh, I got my Harley tool. Just came in. This one. There we go. 2.872. Let me check the specs on that. I just checked it again, and doing it down maybe a centimeter. Still getting 0.7. I thought for a second there I got it less. 0.7, 2.870 now, in that range. That's not bad. And if you look at the pistons, there's not like a, you usually see like a big worn patch if it's worn out, so that's not too bad. I could clean these up and use those. And the cylinder variance is 2 thou, and the manual says if you get 5 thou variance from top to bottom, it needs a rebore. But I'm going to double check that and read that again. And I'm getting a 2 thou variant, 3 thou variance there. 3 thou variance there, and the pistons are a little better than specs. I think that's the wear limit specs in here. .8713 to 2.8703. Get below that, that piston's no good, but I'm a little bit above the high end of that, so that's good. I'll check the other piston, maybe there's a difference there. I just checked the other piston. I'm getting the exact same specs, and I'm getting 2.8720. So it's bigger than these numbers. And then I double checked again, make sure this thing's right, because I just can't believe it's bigger like that. Yeah, piston ring end gap, 8 to 12 thou. Second ring, top ring, 10 to 12 thou. I'm getting 28 thou. See, something's not right. So I got my 2 rings sitting in here. This is the second ring. Push the piston in, putting it down centimeter and a half, and just a 28 thou feeler gauge in there. And I can get it in fairly easily on both of them. But I can't get a 30 thou feeler gauge in there, and I don't have a 29, but that's a 28 thou. So those are way out of spec. So I'm gonna measure that bore again, double check it. And because we know the pistons are within specs, the rings are way out of whack. Maybe I can get away with just re-ringing it and then deglaze this. But I'm going to measure these bores one more time. I put the bore gauge in the cylinder and I zero it. I get it to its the widest point of the cylinder, down about 1 centimeter from the top of the bore. And that's the widest point, and I zero it. I'm doing this 2 different ways. I'm checking it 3 times. I'm just making double sure. I've checked this mic, right? I just measured the piston with that. I've checked that twice. And then I put it on here and I get it to 0. I dial it in like this till it zeros. And I'm getting 2 point, I did this 3 different times, double checked everything, took this out, double checked, zeroed everything all in, and this I'm getting 2.8 and then 7.5 plus 3, so 7.8. I've done it 3 times. I get the same numbers. So I got an 8 thou piston cylinder clearance. That's too much. So, yeah, let's check here. So the piston, I'm getting 2.870 inches. I double checked them both again. That's pretty damn close. And then the bore, I'm getting 2.87 or 2.878. You know, at the worst, I'm getting 8 thou, and at the best, 7 thou piston to cylinder clearance. That's too much. I had a set of long feeler gauges, like the big long 10-inch ones, that I always like to double check, put the piston in and put them in the cylinder and push it back and forth. Actually, I do have a couple, but I got a brand new set that came last summer, and I had them for 5 minutes and I lost them in this garage, or they're stolen or something. I just can't believe somebody would steal them, but I had them here, never used them. They were brand freaking new. And yeah, I thought, you know, what I would normally do is I would throw it right in here with all my feeler gauges, you know, and it's a long feeler gauges in here. But I do have a couple long ones, so there's 6 thou there. Let me try 6 thou. If that's loose, then we know we're pretty close to 8 thou. I'm gonna try that. I washed the cylinders, so they're all pretty clean. WD-40 on this again. Make sure that's nice and clean. I washed these too. Just make sure it's clean. Now this isn't going to check the whole bore, like this. Well, even the whole bore, if I'm out 2 thou from top to bottom, then this should that slides right through. So that's 6 thou. That's 6 thou right there. Yeah, no, I know I could get a 7 in there. Make sure you orient the piston the right way. Goes through pretty easy. So we know we got 6 thou clearance there minimum, so it's probably accurate. I probably got 8 thou. It's too much. Man, I wish I had that set, brand new set. I just can't. I've had a couple tools, 2 brand new tools in here, in my garage disappear. I mean, literally disappear, like nobody in here. The other tool that went missing was, I bought like, my 3rd one I bought. A pair of these. But it was the reversible type Blue Point. I've had it since 1983. And I thought I lent it out to somebody. Maybe I did. So I bought a brand new set. And I thought, okay, I'm not gonna put, it's brand new, you know, I paid like 30 bucks for it. It's a good quality one. I think it was another Blue Point. And I thought, yeah, I'm not gonna put it in with all my wrenches, because I just throw them all in my drawer down here. I just throw them all into there. So I didn't want to throw a brand new thing in there. I thought, I'm gonna put it aside. And I thought I put it up, you know, in here, one of these drawers. And I went to get it, and it was gone. I just don't believe it. Like, it was brand new. I've never seen it since the day I got it in this garage. Just like those feeler gauges. I remember unpacking it. I remember exactly doing it. I unpacked the box over here. I was working on, I think it was on that the XJ900 Seiko outside. And I got the box. I'm unpacking all my parts from the States, and I got the long feeler gauges. I just kind of looked at it real briefly. I came over here, and I put it in one of these drawers. Gone. Gone. And I got it on eBay, and it was like, I mean, it was like brand new mint for $10 American, and then shipping was maybe $5. But in Canada, a pack of these long feeler gauges is like 75 bucks. Probably close to 85 with taxes. Yeah, they're real expensive. Okay, so that's where I'm at. I got 8 thou clearance. Pretty damn sure of that, especially when I can get a 6 thou, push the piston through with a 6 thou feeler gauge in there, so I know it's more than 6. It's going to be 7 to 8 thou. I'm going to have to go online, because that manual doesn't say you know, what your piston to cylinder clearance should be. Even if you bore it out, what should the piston cylinder clearances be? I'm sure not less than 2 thou. Maybe 2 to 3 thou, something like that. I can't remember. I'm going to have to look at my old videos, because I bored out that one. So I'm going to go look at those. Well, I looked online at the Norton Owners Group site. I'm a member of that as well. And I can't remember, because I've been working on that bike over the past 5 years, and when I bored that out, I think it's been 2 years now, or a year to 2 years. And I bored that one out looking at my videos to about 3 thou. And that seems to work pretty good. Like, it runs good, doesn't smoke or nothing, and runs pretty good. And I'm in Canada, so it's a quite a bit cooler environment. And I noticed some of the people at the Norton's owner group, you know, lived in Texas and down south, and they bored at a 4 thou clearance minimum, because they're running in such hotter conditions down there. But yeah, I think I'm going to bore it to 3 thou just to be safe. And I ordered the pistons. I think they're JCC. I think it's the same brand. Anyway, the JCC makes pistons for Amigo, and there's 2 or 3 companies they make them for. I think they're made in Taiwan. So I got those ordered. I've got all new valve springs ordered. I got 2 new intake valves ordered. I didn't find any exhaust valves yet. You know, these ones might be savable. I got to look at the seats. They're just so skinny on the sides, but the stock ones do kind of mushroom like that. That's just the way they are, I guess, looking at pictures. The stainless steel ones are different. I would like to get a set of them, but man, they're expensive. What else did I order? Yeah, the pistons came with the rings, the new pins, and clips, springs I got, intake, everything but the exhaust valves. What else did I order? I better order another gasket kit. I got one for the tranny here, but I don't have a... Yeah, I better order a top-end gasket kit. Yeah, I think that's it for this video for now. I've got my tool in for that, so I think I'll get that wrapped up. Maybe I'll get that bike fired up as well too. I think that's all I was going to say about that. Yeah, there was a lot of variances in people on the Norton's owners group there. That's if you want anything to know anything about Norton's, that's the website to go to. NOG, Norton Owners Group. And they're saying the 850s were 2 Despo 097 thou to you know, 3.5 thou, like a little bit tighter tolerances, but a lot of people are saying 4.5 thou, and just to be safe. But I think that was in a lot hotter conditions. I'm gonna go with 3 thou. And then between cast pistons and forged pistons, there was a difference too, people were saying. So, yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. That's it for this video. Next is waiting for parts. So the parts are gonna take about 2 weeks probably to get here from the States. Thank you.